driver chases their childhood dreams to compete at the highest level. No! To race for glory. I want to drive the Ram truck for these guys.
The thunder with the lightning cracks. I ain't slowing down, ain't looking back.
It's time to prove they have what it takes. Hang on, banging doors, baby. It's time for the best to rise to the top. Yeah! It's time for Ram. Oh! Race for the seat.
Heat on my heels. Watch me go.
Welcome back to the iRacing career mode and the second episode of Ram Race for the Seat. We are already ready to go here at VIR in late models. We had Jonathan Cash in the 25 on the pole, the 10 of Ryan Gimmel in second. We had, I can't remember who's in third, but it'll be Casey Kelly in the 12, Carson Ferguson in the 14, and Michael Christopher Jr. in the 16. So Christopher in third. Looks like Carson Ferguson will be fourth, and Casey Kelly will find himself in last place here. Just getting ready to go for the first race. This is Group M, so the bottom group right now. Once again, our second episode, we saw ourselves Minnie Tyrell and Trevor Ward win in the Legends at Langley. Trevor Ward ended up winning the 25 truck seat at IRP for this season, actually coming up 2026. So we'll see what we can do here. Road course racing is solid for us. We're not the best, but we are not the worst, as the pace car is about to pull off here for 5 laps only here at VIR. Very short race as the pace car pulls off, and they are going to get moving here at VIR. Jonathan Cash on the inside. We see the 10 of Gimmel on the outside. Looks like he's already clear, and he's going to start filing to the bottom. Actually, he's going to look for a move on the outside of Cash. Going into turn 1, they go really deep into 1. Gimmel hanging on the outside of the 25. The 16 sliding behind. He looks fast as well. But Gimmel looks like he's going to get clear here going into the S's. Or I guess the downhill S's, that blind left-hander. They're all going to make it so far. The 25 of Cash hugs the inside of the left-hander as they all file single file behind him. Going back onto the main track here, the sharp right-hander, also a blind turn. You can't see anything over the front of this late model. Onto the backstretch of VIR. Here we are, the long right-hander going to go into the fast left. Not a lot of room to mess up there, as they're going to go into the double right here to end the lap. Ryan Gimmel still trying to chase down the 25 of Jonathan Cash. Michael Christopher Jr. still behind. Then Carson Ferguson's actually fallen to last, and Casey Kelly's moved up to P4 at the start of lap 2. Here you can see all 5 of them coming up the front stretch, carrying some serious speed. We'll see how they go into turn 1 here with more speed than they did before. Ryan Gimmel still sitting in second. Looks like they're all going to make the corner. You can see how fast they take that right-hand horseshoe. There's a little bit of elevation change down the hill. And here they come back to the infield. Gimmel looks like he's just holding that gap right now. Christopher Jr. looks to be about the same. Casey Kelly and Carson Ferguson falling off the back of the pack right now. We'll see if they're able to get going only on lap 2 here. Still have about 3.5 laps to go. Jonathan Cash right now hasn't really had any pressure other than turn 1, lap 1. So we'll have to see if he makes any mistakes here. Gimmel continuing just to try and sit behind that 25. Just trying to see if he can make a mistake. Right now, though, the 25 looks really solid. Maybe a little bit of a slide there in the back. I think I saw the rear tire step, but that might have just been from the 25 downshifting in the corner. We see him once again coming up the front. Lap 3 of 5 here. Headed all the way up to turn 1, that long uphill. Here we look at Casey Kelly in the 12. Once again, just struggling to get going. Casey Kelly's really not been good all season. Same with Carson Ferguson. They started in Group M and have not moved up. I say all season. It is episode 2 of Race for the Seat. Ryan Gimmel once again started in Group M, so really needs to come back here. Jonathan Cash actually is one of the two drivers that moved down in, I think, from Group A to Group M. So top two from Group M will move up to Group A for the next race. Obviously, the bottom two from Group A will move down to this group here. Jonathan Cash pulling away from the 10 of Gimmel. Not something we expected to see. Gimmel somewhat of a, you know, probably the closest thing we have in this competition to a road course ringer, I would think. Being from, I believe, the Canadian series. So kind of weird to see Gimmel stuck here in second behind the 25, but he's pulling away from third place. So I think these two right now are definitely class of the field. 2 to go, lap 4 of 5 right now. Jonathan Cash continuing to hold the lead. Nothing different in the running order around that first horseshoe. And they're going to start headed down the hill here towards that blind left-hander. As they go down, they have that small uphill, then this sharp left. You really cannot see any of that turn until you're already at the end of it. The left-hander here, Jonathan Cash once again holds the inside. Gimmel looks like maybe he's picked up the pace a little bit. He looks like he's closed that gap to Jonathan Cash, but the difference is if he's able to pass him. It's going to be hard to pass here. So we'll see what Gimmel's able to do. Jonathan Cash right now just needs to not make any mistakes. I think as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, he's going to be okay, because you can see how much he pulls in that left-hander going into the double right here. Jonathan Cash onto the front straightaway to come to the final lap. The white flag is out. Jonathan Cash right now still leading this race, has led since the start. Once again, only 5 laps here. So Ryan Gimmel not able to make the most of probably one of his best chances this season to get a win and some good points. Obviously, he'll still get 8 points for a P2 finish if he stays here. So still a good point stay for Ryan Gimmel, but really not what he needed. But like I said, these two definitely are class of the field right now. Gimmel continues to close and then will fall back on the backstretch. And really that just means that if he doesn't get to Jonathan Cash by the end of this next corner, I don't see a world where Ryan Gimmel wins this race, as Jonathan Cash still holds the lead into the right-hander onto the backstretch. This is where we see Cash pull away after this upcoming left-hander. We'll have to see if Gimmel's able to pull anything out here. Looks like he's going to do decent, but loses time once again, just a little bit this time. Jonathan Cash going to hold the lead in the final corner onto the front stretch for the final time in that 25 late model. And it looks like Jonathan Cash is going to win this first race, with Ryan Gimmel in second. Looks like Michael Christopher Jr. in third. Casey Kelly will come home P4, and Carson Ferguson again will finish in the bottom 2 here. Going into Group A here, we have Trevor Ward on pole again in the 25, so obviously that 25 late model looks fast. We see once again the 12 on, or the 10 on the outside. That is Tanner Reif. The 12 and third of Chase Burrow. Then it looks like the 14 of Jared Fryer fourth, and the 16 of Carson Brown in fifth. But the same front row for race A. We'll have to see what happens here, as it looks like they're coming onto the front stretch. The pace car should be pulling off here. There it goes, as they are going to get going here from VIR. The 25 doesn't get as good of a launch as Cash did, although it looks like he's going to have the speed going up the hill. We'll see if the 10 goes for a move on the outside like Gimmel did in that first turn. No, he's going to slide in behind. He's actually going to look for a move on the inside here. We'll see if anything happens. No, the 25 of Trevor Ward is going to be up front. Obviously, if Trevor Ward wins this race, he will remain in the points lead, having the max amount of points so far. So it would be really hard to catch that Trevor Ward machine, whatever number he'll be in, if he continues this pace. The 10 of Tanner Reif still in second. We've seen almost no passing, so I have a hard time believing that the 25 is going to lose this position to the 10 of Tanner Reif, but we'll see what he's able to do here. The 12 of Casey, or not Casey Kelly, that is Chase Burrow, still in third, so looks like no change from the starting lineup as they go into the final corners for the end of the first lap. Trevor Ward still holds the lead with 4 to go in this race. Like I said a billion times, only 5 laps here at VIR. A really short race. I mean, they only have a little bit of time to get going as the 25 is going to ship it into 1. The 10 looks faster again, so the 10 might be a quicker car, but the 25 just looks good everywhere. The 10 looks like it'll close, and then, you know, either due to driver error or whatever, but the 10 does look a little bit faster than the 25, I think. Going down the hill, you see that shot, just the S's down the hill. Coming into the right-hander onto the main track once again on that backstretch. You see all 5 cars nose to tail right now, as they're going to continue to move. The 25 of Trevor Ward still holds the lead over the 10 of Tanner Reif. Not really much to say right now. Trevor Ward kind of just holding his line. Same thing as Jonathan Cash, just needs to keep himself from making mistakes. And I think he's got it in the bag, coming to 3 to go now. After this lap, we'll be over halfway through this race. So Trevor Ward right now just trying to survive. These other guys trying to catch him. We see that final car out of line, I believe. That is the 16 of Carson Brown, just trying to do something different, but it's not going to work. He's going to file back into this train. The 25 is going to stay ahead as well. The 10 and the 25 once again kind of pulling away from 3rd place. Definitely the class of the field right now. I don't think there's anything that's near them really on pace. I think they're definitely the 2 best cars. So we'll have to see if they're able to do anything here. We see the 25 and the 10 into the right-hander, and the 12, 14, and 16 all follow. We'll see if maybe these 3 fight for any positions. Hopefully they do, but I'm not entirely sure. As they move into the final turn, coming to 2 to go. Trevor Ward has led this entire race, similar, like I said, to the 25 of Cash earlier. The 10 actually looks like he's going to get a run into 1 here. Just went ahead and cut through the front stretch. The 10 is going to still chase the 25 of Trevor Ward with 2 to go. Ward's just going to keep moving ahead, as he actually looks like he's pulling away from the 10 a little bit. The 10 might be falling back to the 16, or sorry, to the 12 of Chase Burrow right now. So we'll have to see if Chase Burrow is able to make anything out of that. Coming onto the backstretch once again, Trevor Ward stays ahead of the 10 of Tanner Reif. Only one more time they have to make these turns. Coming into the final 2 corners, coming to the white flag here. Trevor Ward just has to hang on for about another minute and a half, or a minute 15 seconds. As Ward's going to take the white flag here at VIR, trying to win his 2nd race of the season. Once again would keep him at the top of the point standings with 20 points guaranteed. He's guaranteed to be in the top 2. Because the 2 he's battling, myself and Mini Tyrell, we are tied on points, but we are in the same race. So one of us is going to fall out of that top 2. Trevor Ward looking to stay there. Ward stays ahead of the 10. They've all kind of bunched back up. We kind of thought that Ward was way ahead, and it looks like he's kind of fallen back to the 10 and 12 and the 14 and the 16, but I still think the 25 has the pace. The 10 still trying to get there. You see how close he is. We'll have to see if he tries anything into the final corner. I think eventually someone's going to try it to go full throttle in that left-hander. I think it's going to happen eventually. Looks like Tanner Reif isn't going to do it, as the 25 is going to once again around the final corner, coming to the checkered flag. The 10 doesn't have any opportunity to get to him, and Trevor Ward is going to win back-to-back races this season, and he's going to have 20 points. Following this race, we have obviously the 10 of Reif in 2nd, and then the 12 of Burrow, the Fryer 14, and the Ryan Gimmel, the Carson Brown 16, as we come on to the pace laps of our race. About to go green here from VIR for race R. We qualified 2nd to the 16 of Mini Tyrell. So just got to try and stay with him here.
Green flag, green flag.
As we are green here from VIR for race R. Obviously, this is the fastest race. We're going to slide behind Mini Tyrell as soon as we can. We didn't get the jump that everyone else did. Obviously, we're in the 25. We've seen how fast it is, but we don't think it's the fastest car out there. Just trying to go as deep into turn 1 as I can, trying not to let Mini Tyrell get away, as they're fighting behind us, the 12 and the 14. But right now, our focus is on the 16 ahead of us. Mini barely out-qualified us. He was the only driver that was able to. So we're actually going to miss the corner here. That blind left-hander really just messed us up there. But we're going to be able to save some time. Did get a slowdown penalty, but was able to serve it without losing any positions. But just a stupid mistake from me. Going to make another one there, hopping that curb on that blind right-hander. The blind corner's really just not being nice to us right now. And that you can see how much time I've lost to the 16 of Mini Tyrell from that alone, as we're trying to chase Mini down up the hill right now to the double right-hander. You're going to see us at the back of the frame. There we are, just ahead of everybody else. Obviously, you see the 14 and the 12 fighting right now. Not able to do too much, as we're going to continue to try and chase this number 16. Obviously, the 14 of Cody Kelly and the 12 of Landon Huffman somewhere off of the pace. Austin Beers in the 10 behind me. You actually see him gain a little bit on me in turn 1 and 2, but we're going to pull away on exit. Just able to get the power down a little bit better than all of these guys right now, as we're going to force it into the S's. We're not going to miss the corner this time. Actually going to get all the way up on the curb, trying to maximize how much track we're able to use. As you can see, we are catching the 16 right now. Every single lap, every single corner, we get a little bit closer. Once again, making that mistake on the curb of the blind right-hander. Didn't lose as much time though this time. Still trying to chase down that number 16. You can see I'm having to get fully out of the throttle for that left-hander right now, as we're gonna gain a ton of time on the 16 here in the double rights. I was definitely faster there the whole race. I mean, I was just able to ship it in, as we're going to chase Tyrell up the hill once again. Lap 3 already in this race. We're moving really fast, as we're gonna actually, maybe he's gonna defend. So obviously he thinks we were gonna get to his outside by the corner. So I definitely think he's starting to doubt how fast he is right now. We're gonna get loose off the right-hander as we continue to chase Tyrell down the hill, back up to the left into the S's. We're able to cut a little bit deeper than he is. Just trying everything. Gonna look to the outside, not able to make it happen. Gonna cut all the way back to the bottom and try and drive back onto the backstretch here. So we're not gonna hit the curb that time. Finally, we get that corner right. Gonna still chase the 16. You can see how much time we've gained that lap, as we're still trying to chase Mini Tyrell ahead of us. Obviously, we're tied on points. Whoever wins this race between the two of us is going to be tied with Trevor Ward for the points lead. I would like it to be us, just to get that full-time trucks opportunity, as we're still trying to chase the 16 of Mini Tyrell right now down the front stretch.
You've got 2 laps to go.
Once again, just trying to get to Mini, going up the hill one more time. Still nothing to show for it. Just trying to close in on him. We actually do gain a lot there out of turn number 1. Actually going to get to the bumper of Mini, maybe give him a little shot there. Just trying to see what we can do. Obviously, still one more lap after this to go, so if we can try to set up a move now, it's going to help us. But Mini, once again, just blocks the inside of that left-hander. So we're going to have to go for a move going back out onto the track here. The Mini just able to defend us so much better than we expected. Going to catch the grass again. Just making too many mistakes right now, as Mini's going to pull away a little bit right now as we try and chase him. Going into the left-hander, going to go down and back up this hill here. Just trying to get to the rear. You can see how much we're gaining under braking. We're just so much faster right now than the 16. The final lap here, looking for anything as we continue in this race. Mini Tyrell stays ahead of us within the white flag Just trying to get to the number 16. You can see that gap gonna miss turn 1, but I think it's actually gonna pay off. Actually, no, gets really loose there. We could have had a really good drive off, but just a really stupid mistake. Starting to look a little bit desperate here is us. Gonna ship it into the corner. Once again, you see me getting all the way sideways, just trying to get it in there. You see how much time we gain. Gonna miss the left-hander again, but we're still gaining time on the 16 of Tyrell. We might have a shot going into the final set of corners. I just have to make sure that we get the speed on the left-hander. We're going to still chase the 16 of Tyrell. Going to look like it's going to come down to the final 2 corners. Coming out of the left-hander, we're actually going to miss the corner here. Just try to keep it in the throttle. We're going to spin in the 25. Not going to collect Tyrell, thankfully, but just trying to recover. I'm going to get the tires too heated, and while I'm trying to get back to the 16, just spin out. I don't want to come across the track and hit any of these guys, so actually going to turn a little too much, catch the 10 of Beers. He's going to finish second, trying to gain time and just not going to get it. Landon Huffman is actually going to finish ahead of us, so we go from first to last, or from second to last in the final corners. Just a really stupid move from us. Tried to get too aggressive. Not entirely sure why, but obviously the 16 of Mini Tyrell is going to still be tied for the points lead, as he's actually going to find himself here in the final race. Mini is going to find himself in the number 12. Jonathan Cash in the 10 and Trevor Ward in the 14. So basically the opposite of what group they're in, as they're going to go green here from VIR. Only 3 laps for this short dash here. Jonathan Cash going to be way clear of the 14 by the time they get to turn 1. Looks like Trevor Ward once again with some speed here, as Mini Tyrell's going to look to the inside of Trevor Ward here, actually going to get there. We're going to look for the move, see if Mini's able to get it. Looks like he's definitely faster than the 14 right now, as he's going to clear him going into the S's. So Mini looking like he's going to make some moves here. He's already moved from 3rd to 2nd, just has to catch back up to the number 10 of Jonathan Cash. We'll see what he's able to do going onto the backstretch here. Mini already won his race. Was probably the 2nd fastest guy. I think we definitely had the speed, just made too many mistakes. Obviously ended up wrecking ourselves. There's a reason the 25 isn't in this race. Mini's actually going to make the same mistake we did and hop the curb, although he's not going to spin out like we did. So going to lose a lot of time as the 12 of Mini Tyrell, but still going to be in the race, as it looks like Jonathan Cash now has a long gap to the 14 of Trevor Ward, as we're going to come all the way up the hill here. Looks like the 10 of Cash, yeah, just a massive gap now to the number 14 of Trevor Ward. Going to go onto the backstretch now a little bit later in the lap. You can see that gap just continuing to widen. Jonathan Cash just so much faster than the 14. I think Mini would have had a shot if he didn't make that mistake going into the left-hander. So me and Mini made the same mistake in the same corner. Obviously Mini not as drastically as I did, but still with the same result, losing 2nd place and falling to last as we go up the hill one last time. This is the white flag for Jonathan Cash. You can see there's nobody near him. Trevor Ward is several car lengths behind, as Jonathan Cash is going to go into the right-hander and continue to drive away. Looks like you can see Mini there at the end of that little clip. But Jonathan Cash really just, only way he's losing this race is if he spins or pulls a Mini right now, as he's going to go into the left-hander. Just really good in the infield is the 10 of Jonathan Cash. Going to continue to drive away here into the right-hander onto the backstretch. You can just see how quick he is in these corners all the way up the hill. Going to head to the fast left-hander. Going to go up, back, down and back up the hill here one final time. Going to go into the final 2 corners and on to the front stretch to take the checkered flag. Jonathan Cash dominates the final 3 race here, and he will be in the 25 later this year, I believe, at Lime Rock. So Jonathan Cash is going to win the final race, but let's see the point standings. Mini Tyrell and Trevor Ward still tied at the top. Austin Beers, Jonathan Cash, myself, Chase Burrow. Obviously, we see a 3-way tie for 4th. Then Landon Huffman, Cody Kelly, Ryan Gimmel all tied with 14. Christopher Jr., Fryer, and Reef all tied with 13. So we are still in the fight here. We need a little bit of luck on our side, but we'll have to see what we're able to do here in the next episode in the late models once again. So until then, I will see y'all next time.